Yes, people. Welcome back to the Magpie Channel podcast. Apologies for the hiatus. Just been doing the old West End in London, though. Haven't I?
Like, is it?
Just a little side quest on that one, a little side mission. That's been happening there. So we're back now for this week, and then we'll be away next week, unfortunately. We're following that into mid-February. We'll be running deep into the end of the season and back throughout the summer consistently, hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
Keggy, you joined one of the West End the other night. You enjoyed the show, Jerry and Sewell?
I did, mate. It was class. Really, really good. Shape of plug. It's coming back to the Theatre Royal in June. Only 5 nights. I was having a look last night. Tickets are pretty much already gone for the most part. There are still some scattered around, so highly recommended if you haven't already been, if you didn't come to the Theatre Royal 2 years ago. I keep wanting to say last year, but 24.
Yeah, it was October 24.
Yes, 2 years ago. It was absolutely class. So yeah, second time I've seen it, and I'd recommend it because it keeps getting bigger and better.
Aye.
Yeah, like getting more money behind it and whatnot, and they keep adapting it a little bit, twigging it. Got good stars, some soap stars, recognizable faces showing up.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's only going to be bigger and better, and Big Venty's roles getting bigger and longer.
It is, aye.
See a little bit more of that face on stage than he did in Newcastle last couple of years ago.
Exactly. You don't have to wait until right at the end for this time, and there might even be a bit more in June. Who knows? Keep your eyes peeled for that one, but I would only promote that one. It's thankfully selling out like mad in the Tune, because it's a show that the Tune can be proud of.
Yeah,
and,
it's absolutely class. Yeah, really good. Geordie, faithful, loyal, and it's really, really good story. I think everyone would enjoy it.
Definitely. It's got everything. And it's, it was a pleasure to be a part of it in the West End and turning that black and white and having like flags and all that
flags,
silly Geordie things.
It's class.
It's crazy. And the Theatre Royal is even better, in my opinion, because it's at home crowds, at home atmosphere, and it'll be absolutely rocking.
Yeah, loads of Sam Fender music in the soundtrack. There was we'll put a Andrew Cushion one in, and Alan noticed that War Flags tune, that was in there. Celebrating
local talent. Obviously, Sam Fender was there himself to watch the show on the final night just gone there, so that was good as well. Deck came down. Ant must have been busy that night.
Little Declan.
But Declan Donnelly was there, loving it. Who've also started a podcast now, jumping on the bandwagon.
I've seen that.
I know them just jumping on the bandwagon. But that's enough of that. Let's get into the Newcastle news. And you know what it is? There was a lot of negativity yesterday on social media. Some of it was probably over the top. I mean, I was tired and had... see that coming in?
On the top, you're joking.
I was tired yesterday on my video. I was ranting on my video a little bit in more of a relaxed manner, but it was obviously disappointing, the result, of course, but also the performance. Not scoring against the Villa side that hadn't kept a clean sheet in 9, had only picked up 4 points from the previous 4 games. Newcastle were unbeaten against Villa at home in like 20 years. They hadn't lost St. James Park in 20-odd years. The last time they lost was 2005 against Bowyer and Dyer, scrapping against each other.
Fucking hell, I didn't know that.
They had came back from, a tough European away game, which they won 1-0 in Turkey on Thursday night. So, you thought we would be doing well after the PSV win, but couldn't take with chances, which is a reoccurring theme. But you have to credit Martinez, like I did in the video yesterday. I made Pope as well. I made some good saves. To be fair, it did take a wonder straight to put them in the lead, and then the score later on. Just seeing GMZ 9 there, saying love Jerry and Sewell. Nice one, mate. Thanks for coming. Good evening to Aaron. Ian's in there as usual as well. So good to see the regular viewers and those that are back. If you haven't already liked the podcast, like the show and subscribe to the channel, please do. We may as well start then, Keg, before we get stuck into the transfers, Eddie Howe, what could be happening in the final few days of the window, and of course looking towards Paris Saint-Germain on Wednesday night. Big game in the Champions League. How tight that top 8, top 16 is really.
Yeah.
And, of course, a trip to Anfield on Saturday night. So loads of games coming up.
Dead easy games now.
Dead easy ones, not just playing, the Champions League champions, the Premier League champions, even though Liverpool and bad run of form, no doubt. They'll take... Isaac's probably fit out of nowhere. Do you know what I mean? Just for the crap rugby, I'll play.
Pop one off the bench. 98th minute where there was only 4 minutes added on, but I never mind.
I'm ready.
That's going to come.
Let me know, Graham, who that forward is that Newcastle have been linked to, that Palace have bid 35 million for, because I haven't seen much today. Because I've been very busy, I haven't seen.
Forrest to put a bid in for Mateta. I've seen that.
Have they?
35, I think.
Is that what he's maybe on about there? Palace bid 35 million for forward. And I see him meant to bid for Palace, but so Forrest for Mateta. That team really wanted to go because he wanted to leave Palace to do.
Yeah, I'm sure it was Forest. Maybe just made that one up. But
Villa were interested in him. Newcastle were slightly. Spurs. I don't think that's much of a step up for Jean-Philippe Mateta at all. But I agree with saying it's Forest. Yeah. I mean, Forest obviously had a good year last year, but they're struggling this year. Relegation battle. They're meant to be bringing in that big forward from abroad now, weren't they? Daishi want the big lad
from Italy. I think he was
6'6". Makes Voltemada look small. That bloke, massive. But Newcastle Villa yesterday. Let's breeze over this one. We'll talk from the beginning, really, where Tonali could have maybe changed the headlines.
Yeah, quick first minute. Yeah, it was a shame he didn't put that away. I done all the hard work, and I think he done the right thing by trying to go across the goalkeeper. I think a lot of people might have looked at the reverse angle and say, "Oh, it would have been easier just to shoot the other way." But I tried to cut across him. I think that was the right idea, and it was a good save by
great start.
Martinez's feet. But yeah, shame we couldn't get that because that's a different game.
Right.
Seconds in, less than 60 seconds in, the game changes automatically. It's a completely different story. So it's a shame we couldn't have gotten that early goal. But yeah, Tonali done well, done the hard work. Just shame that he couldn't get the finish off.
Because Tonali did that on his debut a few years ago, didn't he? Scored early on, and we end up battering Villa 5-1. And that does change the complexion of the game because Villa then can't do what they did and sit back. You know what I mean? And shoot from long range and sit back. It would have opened things up a lot more if we had scored the first goal. Obviously, would have lifted the crowd because even though we missed that one, and Miley had a header as well before half time.
That was a great save.
2 great saves. The first 15, 20 minutes, probably before and up until Villa scored, really, Newcastle were doing well. I thought in the game, I thought we'd started brightly, started strong. It was just the forward line again just looked disjointed for me. Barnes and Gordon were so wide, so far apart, nowhere near Johan Wissa, really isolated. But then if a ball did come in the box, Wissa was slow to it. I just didn't think we did enough to create more. Yes, they had a couple of good saves there through Martinez, but a lot of people have been starting to say, well, why don't we do what Villa do? Why don't we do what Man U did? Yesterday, Cunha goal at the Emirates outside the box. Buendia goal outside the box. Eddie Howe was even asked.
Seem to do that.
This is what Howe was asked before the Villa game. Why aren't we taking shots from outside the box? Why are we trying to tippy-tappy it in when we're not very good at it?
Literally. We kind of do that, so might as well make not necessarily harder for ourselves. It's actually making it easier for ourselves. I think our success rate in shooting and scoring from long range is less. So I get the idea of trying to build up the play and try and make the goal easier, a little back post tap in or whatever. But yeah, we're really not very good at it. So I think our chances of trying just shooting, I always say, if you don't shoot, you don't score.
No.
So it's better to shoot. Keeper might make a mistake or might get a lucky deflection or something like that. 99% of Frank Lampard's goals were bloody deflected 25-yard strikes.
Exactly,
yeah. So, if you don't shoot, you don't score. So you never know what you're going to end up with. You don't win the lottery if you don't buy tickets.
You don't know. And then you think of Tonali, where Eddie Howe has said, oh, he's got a great shot on him. One of the best we've seen all the time in training.
That would be nice to see.
Come and see it in the game. If you're seeing it all the time in training, maybe try it in a match and we might get 3 points.
That'd be nice.
Obviously Bruno chipped over goals this season, but it's been inside the box.
He's getting a couple from
Barnes was doing it a lot more back in the day when he tried yesterday on. He just thought, I'm going to try and do this myself.
He did a few times. He could have maybe made a pass or something, but I think he's just looking for the glory, just trying to think. Well, to be fair, he is the only one that can score at the minute, so why not? He's got every right to try and take it on himself, but never mind.
No, never mind. On that one, Buendia was the one that ended up doing it.
It was a great goal
for Villa. It was a great goal, but you know what? I still get annoyed at us not closing players down quick enough. Botman's lingering back a little bit, then he kind of does the hands behind the back and sticks out one leg. And I just think close them down quicker, man. Get in the faces a bit quicker.
Yeah.
And then obviously, Chow made that mistake where it led to Pope's great save yesterday. But
got away with one there. Good job. Pope's feet came in the way.
I still think we can be a bit quicker from the defence as well, getting out a bit sharper towards the opposition. I think we've seen that a couple of times this season. We're going at half time though. It's only 1-0. You think, can we get back in this quickly? Can we change things up? What's Eddie Howe going to do? And then obviously a lot of the stick that he's getting is because it's the same old.
Yeah.
It's the waiting around until the 60th, 70th minute. Vista comes off, Voltemada comes on, vice versa. Elanga comes on. You know exactly what's going to happen. If you look at that team we finished the game with, it's pretty poor. Like, I seen a thing where it was like, how are we 4 years into this takeover and we're finishing the game with a midfield of Miley, Joe Willock, and Jacob Ramsey. I mean, that's the Mike Ashley midfield, that, like. Not a Saudi Arabian PIF takeover midfield. And, you know, we can whinge on about PSR and stuff, but at the end of the day, we did waste what it looks like at the minute 43 million on Ramsey. We've kept a hold of Willock. Well, probably should have been sold already. You know, he hasn't done much of the black and white shirt for a while. And then obviously Miley's been brilliant. He's been slotting in everywhere at right back and stuff. But it's just a bit mad that, and you know, the reason that midfield looked that way at the end is because obviously Captain Bruno didn't make the game. Yeah, we'll have an update from Eddie tomorrow.
He's always a miss, Bruno, isn't he?
We haven't won a game without him.
As soon as I seen him not in the team, I was thinking, no. Yeah. How much, but that's the thing. Like, we're 4 years into the takeover. One player shouldn't make a difference.
Exactly.
We should be able to like rotate this. Like I said, spent what 43 million on Jacob Ramsey.
Yeah,
should be sound him coming in.
He should be a starter. I mean, oh shit, he's coming on. He's going to do that.
Literally. We should be fine taking replacing anyone. Like, I know, we're not very deep at the minute. We've got a lot of injuries. Defense has been the biggest problem all season long. But now with Bruno out, then Joe Linton went off at half-time. Say, oh, for fuck's sake, it's happening to the midfield now. We're just so depleted. But we shouldn't be like this. I feel like if you take like City, for example, or Liverpool, like, you just think anyone that comes off the bench, sound.
Yeah.
We're deep. We've got bodies like right across the team. Like, we've got a bench capable, any single one of them. There's probably players that aren't even not making the bench that would be a starting 11 player in most Premier League teams. Like, them teams are deep. I know PSR and FFP and all this stuff has absolutely bollocked over the past few years, but we've spent money, we've bought players. Like, the team's nowhere near like what it was at the takeover. We've only probably got about Joe Linton, and it's about it off the top of my head. Like, we haven't really got Lascelles, who never plays. Like, Kraft, Shaw. Like, there's not many. Like, we've completely changed up the team, so it shouldn't really be a case of Jacob Ramsey's coming on for Joe Linton. Bruno's not starting, so we've got Willock or whatever like that. Like, it shouldn't be like that. These players should be able to slot in and play a game with the absolute trust in the fans. I think he's got the trust in the coaching, which might speak volumes. But it really just is not good enough and frustrating. Like, Jacob Ramsey, and I know we rated him in the summer, and it seemed like a good squad player to come in. Like, I was more than happy to take him on as a squad player.
Yeah.
The fee, though,
so we always said
the fee was a bit steep.
I think we said in the summer, surely we should be paying nothing more than about 30 for him.
You
could have gone on his side, he's English.
You could have gone abroad and scouted the market and got someone better and cheaper.
We got Bruno for 35 million euros. You're paying 43 million pounds for Ramsey.
More than Joe Linton. Like, oh my god, yeah, it's not ideal.
It's not far off Tonali. Tonali was 50. That's 7 million quid. Could have Sandro.
Jesus Christ. It was bad business when you look at it like that. But if you came in as a squad player, whatever the fee, whether it was 20, 40, 50, like, you would expect him to come on, replace Bruno if he's injured, or Joe Linton or whatever, come on off the bench, start a cup game, whatever. You should have absolute trust in him and think, sound. He's a good player. Doesn't matter that these lads are out, injured, suspended, whatever. He'll slot in. But he doesn't. It's like Joe Willock. Like, Joe Willock had a decent game a few weeks ago in the game that he came on, but they are really on. Not that for the most part, they're not terrible, but they're not good.
Nah,
they don't do anything miraculous.
They're not a needle mover.
The game or not? No,
not a needle mover. And what a chance for Ramsey yesterday to show his former side, his boyhood club, what they're missing out on, why they shouldn't have sold him, why he's worth 40-odd million quid. And then they must just look at that and be absolutely creasing and laughing the pants off.
It seemed like we were kind of doing them a favour because they were in like PSR trouble for the same, like, in this basically the same situation as Elliot Anderson. Like, homegrown talent, local boy, boyhood fan. We're going to get money. We need to sell. We need to sort PSR out. We're going to sell someone that we don't want to sell, but we're going to have to. With us, like, we're now looking at Elliot Anderson going, Jesus Christ, we shouldn't have sold him. Like, but our hands were tied at the time.
Isn't it mad?
Not really what we could do about it. Yeah. But then Villa fans must be looking at Jacob Ramsey going, mug them off.
Aye. Well, a lot of them said it in the comments, but sometimes you have that spiteful reaction because they're leaving. But they talked about his injuries and stuff, and we were there Leeds away when he did get injured. And I think from then, even though it was a while ago now, and he took a while to come back, it hasn't quite looked the same. But it's mental to think that we got less money for Elliot Anderson than what Villa got for Jacob Ramsey.
And at the time, to be fair, I thought we got good money for Anderson because I thought he was a good player and I thought he would have done well at Forest. But he was banging on our door for a good 3 years or so. Even Brucey gave him his debut. He was doing well in the academy, had a couple of good loan spells. But yeah, he always struggled to make that next step. So for a player like that I didn't really think would kick on that much, like I thought he probably would. He would kick on if he was given more time. But for 35 million or whatever it was, at the time I thought, you can't really turn that down. It's really good business, to be fair. But now we're looking at it again, it's not really very good business.
Now he's going to go on for
absolutely mugged off.
90 million, 100 million in the summer, Man City and everybody wanting him. I mean, Tony makes a good point. Yeah, like we sold Anderson and bought Ramsey. We sold Minter and bought Alanga. Like those two players were hard there. And
that's terrible.
It's absolutely terrible business. Yes, it's crap, unfair ruling by PSR, but it's also mismanagement as well. Like, we kind of just point the finger. We do have to turn that finger around and point it at ourselves and take some of the blame, Like, things should have been run better where we didn't have to make those incorrect decisions, really, when you think of that. I'm seeing something else there as well. We should try Ramsey's at 10, says Philip, but we know Howe won't though. And I like that because what Villa did really well on the weekend was bring both their wingers in as 10s. Buendia and who was the one that was on the inside? Rogers. Both were coming in as 10s and having that like kind of two behind Watkins. And how many times have we been crying out for that? Especially when you could even play Volamada there. You could have a pacey player there. Yeah, like I think, it's not a bad shout at all, Ramsey playing as a 10, because I think when I seen him for Villa and when I was excited about signing for Villa, he was doing a lot of that. You mentioned Lampard earlier, picking the ball up, driving at the box, and he was scoring goals. He was getting on the end of things. And where he's in Newcastle, he's way too deep. He doesn't really influence the game as much. So probably as that 10 would be a good shout, but we'll talk about it soon where Eddie Howe doesn't change formations, man. Doesn't change formations at all. Well, he's all to talk about it now, actually, because it's next up on the notes list about how, and again, the criticism being, it's 4-3-3 or bust. There's no plan B. He was asked about plan Bs and Cs.
Sometimes going 5 at the back.
So it's going 5 at the back,
never really helps.
with the full backs and wing backs, and not really working very well. And you know what it is, right? I've seen more from Michael Carrick in a tactical and formation changing sense than Eddie Howe
in 2 games.
Yeah. I've seen Carrick do more substitution-wise and tactic-wise in 2 matches as Man United manager than Eddie Howe's done as Newcastle manager in 4 years.
And against the top 2 teams as well.
And got 6 points.
Yeah. City and Arsenal couldn't have really had a harder start coming into a job where he was probably set up to fail like every other manager before him. Hardest 2 teams in the league. What you do? 6 points.
6 points. Back in there. And, I'm not sitting here saying, Eddie Howe out, get Carrick in. No, Jordan and all that. Or, get Eddie Howe out, get an interim manager in. But, no, I just, when I seen that Arsenal game yesterday, and I seen the City game last week, but the Arsenal game yesterday was so good because when it was 2-2, he didn't, he could have easily been away from home there and thought, point here against top of the table, Arsenal, this will do me. Brought on another forward, and then Cunha ends up getting the goal. And then when they got that goal, then he went 3 at the back. A formation that completely failed under the previous manager, Amram. And he made it work for the last 5-10 minutes and to defend him well and got the win. Yeah. And against City, he did the same thing. He changed a couple of times the formation, the personnel.
Brought Manu on, who's actually a good footballer.
Aye, and it's like, when you see things like that, I'm like, it does wind you up, like, because Eddie Howe, it's like a lot of the things now is, has he been found out? Is it a few years in and, people know how to play against us? Because it certainly seems that way of teams knowing how to play against us, because we've seen it at Wolves last week. Low block, defend, we're not scoring. You're at least getting a point. Go 1-0 up. Villa did it. Other teams have done it this season. Defend, you sorted. There's no creativity. We kind of break teams down. Completely struggle to break teams down. So the whole not changing formation, not changing tactics, it's starting to wear thin a bit now, like, isn't it? Games out, 1 and 2-0 down at home. You've got to show something, man.
Yeah, it is frustrating, and we have mentioned it a few times earlier on in the season. Like, for me, like, I'm not changing my stance on Eddie Howe. Like, for all the people that are like Howe out, like we said a few weeks ago, like, I'm not Howe out at all. 1, I don't want him out, and for 2, I don't believe he's going to go anywhere in the short term anyway. So there's no point sitting pissing and moaning on about it. But it is just getting more and more frustrating. Like, this season in particular, like, I think you're right. Like, have been found out a bit. Like some games are just frustrating. Like even like the Wolves game last week. Obviously, we've been off for about 4 weeks. We haven't really spoke about it much. But like the Wolves game, frustrating. Like obviously, Sunderland couldn't get an outgoing. Like how much money have we spent on forward players, including the midfielders? Like we have Ramsey's, Voldemaras, Visas, all this, like Alanga. And like we're worse. Like this was meant to help with. Like I know, like we lost a couple of players that we didn't want to lose, like Isak and whatnot. But like we've spent good money. I think on paper and all, like we said, like looking like recapping the summer transfer window, we were quite happy with the window. Like on paper, the names that were brought in, all the positions that were needed were checked off. A goalkeeper, 2 strikers, a centre mid, a centre back, and a right winger. That's everything that we wanted. Even the names on paper were great. Like when Noah Alanga was our number 1 choice. Voldemar came out of absolutely nowhere. Ramsey, Ramsdale, Premier League proven. Malik Chow was a great sign. And then to be fair, he actually is probably the best one that we've had. But
definitely,
like it is like square pegs and round holes. Like these players just don't fit the system. Like we're meant to, like I say, improve the team. Like who did we lose in the summer? About Isak? Did we lose anyone important? Like, I know we lost Almiron in the January beforehand. We didn't really sell anyone. We haven't lost anyone.
Lloyd Kelly went, didn't he?
Lloyd
before
Kelly,
that?
He was already out on loan. So yeah, like these players were meant to improve the team tenfold.
Yeah,
and yeah, we're worse. But yeah, I think it is just players just aren't fitting now, or like especially those that we've signed, like just don't really fit the system. When we thought that they did, you can look at their transfer fees and question that. But like Eddie Howe just isn't really doing anything to help his case, and it is just game after game, just frustrating. Apart from the odd few, like obviously PSV, Union SG,
Everton away.
Like we're done.
City at home.
Like we've had some good games this season where we think, oh, that's it, we're back. How many times have we said that this season? We're back. That's what's we just need to build up on this. We just need to get the momentum. We're back now. That's it. That's the performance that we've needed. And then the next week we're shite again.
Right.
It's like Longstaff. We lost Longstaff.
Longstaff and Callum Wilson.
But
we're calling for Wilson to go for ages, but he's actually done well.
And he's stayed fit. I'll bring him back down on a new 1-year contract. But never mind.
Callum Wilson stayed fit for the first time in a decade. Just couldn't rate it, could you? Couldn't rate it.
Yeah. But like Eddie Howe just isn't really doing anything to help. His hands have been a little bit tied with injuries. Like I said, the defense has been shocking all season long in terms of injuries, losing people that we didn't want to. Livramento had a long layoff, came back for a couple of games. Now he's off again.
Yeah,
we lost Hall at the beginning of the season. We've lost Shaw now. He's going to be out for a while. Trippier was out of the team for a little while. Burns out. Yeah, so it's been difficult, but I still feel like we're 4 years into the takeover. How much money have we spent?
700 million, I think.
It shouldn't still be this way. Like for how long we are. Like we're nearly in February. Like I think we spoke a few months ago, maybe it's around about October time. Like all the Eddie Howe out there going like, we should sack him. It's like, calm down, just relax.
Calm down.
Early doors, and the league is still really tight. So a few wins, like a little bit of momentum can change things. But that is the issue. We struggle to build momentum.
No, kind of string
after a couple of good wins
together, come on.
So yeah, it's just been an overall frustrating season. And now, like we're nearly in February, transfer window's nearly closed. Doesn't look like we're going to sign anyone. We'll come on to those later. But just overall, just this season, like up until this point now in February, like I can say, like it has been shit, and we could still turn it around. Let's say a little bit of momentum, a few wins can change the league formation, can change like the league for us, where we're going to end up. It's unlikely we're going to get the Carabao Cup final, but we're getting to a semi-final. You lose to Man City, it's not the end of the world.
No,
we're not going to get to the final every year.
No.
Just because we won it last year doesn't mean it's our trophy for the next decade. You know
and it would have been 3 years in a row.
It could have been, yeah. So
it still might be. Still might be.
Yeah, and we're still in the FA Cup. Like,
probably won't.
There's still some time to turn it around, but we're nearly in February now. Time is a ticking, and nothing really seems to be changing.
No, it's massively frustrating. You said there about we're happy with the summer window, and people have been calling for Howe and stuff, and he's getting a lot of the flack because obviously he did spend the money on them, but these players also haven't turned up at all. I mean,
Voldemar football as well.
Voldemar started the season very strong. I think he's a quality player. I think you can see that with some of the finishes he's already had, how quick he settled into life in the Premier League. I think since his own goal on the Derby day, he's he's dropped off. He's lost a bit of self-belief there, which is understandable. His confidence been knocked. Talking about confidence, Elanga is just shattered. Like, he shattered with confidence. He really needs a goal or an assist, anything to give him a lift. The crowd gave him a lift the other day. I thought against PSV, he did actually look harried. But, for 50, 55 million quid, you need to look better than Harry. You need to start contributing. But I was listening to a thing the day where, they're talking about a lot of Arsenal players that aren't firing at the minute. Saka has no goals in 13 games. Gyökeres, they spent big money on him. He's not really delivered, especially non-penalty goals. Noni Madueke, another right winger that Newcastle were linked with.
Has he been on the bench loads recently?
Yeah, as he's been on the bench. But Madueke, who was linked with us, came from Chelsea, signed for the same price tag as Anthony Elanga, 50-odd million quid.
As with everyone.
As with everyone at Summer, and he's had 0 goals as well. 0 goals and 0 assists in 25 appearances. Yeah, so around the same as Elanga, a little bit more. But these players aren't performing. We know people in the chat there talk about Anthony Gordon. He hasn't performed unless it's the Champions League. Champions League, he's bloody brilliant. But apart from that,
under the lights.
But games on Sunday where you need to turn up and it's a bit windy, it's a bit rainy. Villa are a good side. Nah, fuck that, not playing. These sort of games where you need to be contributing more. No open player goal for over a year now is berserk.
Shocking,
considering he's probably England's starting left winger, and Tuchel, he absolutely adores him.
Yeah.
So he's not doing enough. You talk about the defensive injuries there. Ramsey, we've discussed him not providing enough value for the money that he cost. So it is concerning that these aren't chipping in, that the summer signings haven't went well, and that is obviously, 250 million spent. And, look now, and Eddie Howe gave a rather depressing update post Villa yesterday, saying about how, it's not the time to sign someone. We can't sign anyone. So I'm going to get his exact quote up now, actually.
Yeah.
Where we talk about that.
It does feel like we've kind of gone back. Like, we can't sign anyone. How? Like, we're in a new PSR window because it rotates every 4 years. So we just came out of it last year. People are talking about the Adidas deal and then Champions League campaigns, the Carabao Cup, sold Isak for a British record fee. We had to sell the likes of and got good money for the likes of Minter and Anderson and people like that. So it's how are we back here already? 6 months later, January. Can't say anyone.
And now what the hell, man? After making that profit, and now we've just said we spent that money, but with the Isak money coming in, surely that you've seen reports. So you've seen reports where they've said Newcastle can spend 50 million this window, and then still have 100 million to spend in the summer and 200 million to spend. And that's got to be the case, man. And we've made 23 million pound already this season, the Champions League already.
Spend it, please.
A bit more against PSG on Wednesday, whether we lose or win. Then the knockout rounds. So you're probably going to get 40 million at least in the Champions League by the time it's all said and done, maybe even more. And you're telling me we can't go out now and when we're desperate for a creative player or we're desperate for a defensive backup, we can't at least even go and spend 25, 30 million quid on that Gyökeres or something we'll talk about soon, or a number 10 or get someone in on loan. You've got to look at that squad. Look at the lack of depth. Look at how nothing changes when you bring the subs on. And then you're not going to spend any money. You're not going to go for it. I feel like we're being so tight with it. But Eddie Howe was asked whether Newcastle need creative players like a Morgan Rogers in their team. And he said the following: "We have the players we have, and we need to find a solution with those players. There's no point in me thinking we need another type of player at this point because it's not going to happen." That's quite miserable.
I wish you just left out that last line.
I didn't have to say that, Eddie. We're trying to get through January, yeah? You know what I mean? The next chance we have to change the squad is the summer. So it's about getting the best out of the players we have. I get what he's finished off on this.
Doing dry January,
cheers, Eddie. You know what I mean? The next chance we have to change the squad is the summer. That's fine. I don't expect us to change the squad in a
January's always a hard month
window.
Yeah.
But I expect us to add one or two players, especially with the amount of injuries we've had. So how can't we just add one or two players in this window? And when he's saying there, we need to find a solution. Well, we do, and that's why people are getting on your back, because you haven't found a solution. You're not even finding a solution for a different formation. Never mind what people are mentioning in the chat. Try Ramsey's at 10, try something different. Try Voltemada and we set together for more than just a cup game. Mix it up. It's the same thing every week, man. So what is the solution going to be?
I think with like the first part that he said there, I think what Eddie Howe's biggest strength and what I think he enjoys most about being a football manager is development.
Yeah, of course.
So I think that's what he means with that first part of what he just said there. Is like he wants to get like the best out of these players, and he is the kind of manager that wants to see players get better and develop them, and not just buy people, like not just like spunk money into the transfer window. Like he wants to take these players and raise them and grow them to be better professionals. Like that's how he gets his kicks for me. I think that's his favorite part of the job, and it is what he's really good at or has been in the past.
Can you do that with a Langer, please?
That would be really nice. Get to work on a Langer on the training ground tomorrow, will you, Eddie?
Yeah, score some goals, please, Anthony Langer.
But like, welcome to the modern market. Like this is football in 2026. Like money speaks volumes. Like it's all well and good saying that, and I get that. Start with the academy. Go and watch the under-19s play. Grow the next.
Where's the next Miley?
Get the next Miley in.
Anderson.
Like, in the modern market, to succeed, you have to spend money. And I know PSR has buggered with, but we're technically the richest club in the world. Like, if we need to succeed and we want to like brush shoulders with the likes of Man City and Liverpool and Arsenal, we need to buy good players. Like that's just. I wish it wasn't. Like I wish I was on Eddie Howe's side to say like, oh, like we could do like get like Man United say class of '92, be Fergie, just develop them all, bleed them all through the system. That'll be lush. But times have changed. Like money speaks volumes. Like football's a lot more of a business these days. Like. Yeah, like it's all about the money, and that's how you're going to get better. Unfortunately, if we want to win Premier League titles and whatnot, how are we going to do that? By just making Anthony Langer a better footballer?
Yeah, I think the miracles of stuff. Like you kind of keep thinking Joe Linton's transformation is going to happen with every player, and you know what I mean. Like it's a bit much to ask, really. And we've got Ian saying there, does the director of football not buy the players these days? I wouldn't let Eddie loose with a fiver. And that's what the question marks have been the last 24 hours on social media, is like, have the ownership lost faith with Howe in his signings and giving him money to spend this January? Are they holding back because in case they do change the manager, then he'll want to bring in his own players in the summer? I'm not quite buying that. Like,
I wouldn't have said so. But like he had the free range in this window in the summer just gone because there was no one else. Like now I have got a director of football. It's his job now to start. Like,
where's Ross Wilson?
Listen,
like, Mitchell all over again to do nothing.
I know.
Mitchell didn't know.
Well, they're getting paid for, but Dan Ashworth was just fucking chopping up hedges and whatnot.
It's unreal.
Like, what are these guys doing? What are they getting paid to do?
Unbelievable.
Like Dan Ashworth was on garden leave for 9 years.
Still is now as well. Man, you put him on garden leave.
Mitchell done absolutely nothing, then left. Like didn't. I'm sure he didn't sign a player or anyone like noticeable. Anyway, he came in after the window.
No, I think he might have signed Kelly. That was it. I think he got money for. Was it Miggy? That was about the thing he did.
Pretty much it. So like these guys are doing absolutely nothing. But it's not really Eddie's fault. Like we didn't have a director of football this summer. He was left to the responsibilities to sign players. He had the checkbook, signed who he wanted. Well, for the most part, I mean, we'll fail to get most of the players that we wanted, to be fair. But that's maybe where if director of football could have come in, like the negotiation side of things.
Persuasion.
Like Eddie Howe's a football manager, not a bloody... he's not there to do like the negotiating side of things. That's like a tricky part. That's what director of footballers get paid to do. Yeah. Encourage people to come here, like sell the team, make sure they come, sign on the dotted line.
Amanda Stavely.
Aye. Yeah, I think like going back to like Alex Ferguson, like one of the most successful people within Manchester United wasn't necessarily any of the players or Sir Alex Ferguson. It was David Gill. Like Fergie pretty much said to David Gill, "How get on a plane and sign in, man, will you?"
Aye.
And David Gill going over like the Godfather. Like if you didn't put ink on that paper, I'll put fucking blood on it instead.
Can you get that young
sign it or die? That's basically David Gill. He wouldn't come back unless he signed someone. Like, that's like the powers of negotiation. Like
can't get that young Portuguese kid called Cristiano from Lisbon, will you? That worked out all right in the end, didn't it?
Done all right, but like we've just got nobody with like the pull. Like I don't get who's making these negotiations. They were clearly just not very good at it.
It was Eddie and Andy. How in the summer won it, and that hasn't went very well.
Couldn't even sell Champions League football to like Mbumo, to Sheshko, like Atike. Like,
see how well Mbumo is done, man. And that the difference between getting Mbumo and Elanga would see us probably like challenging for the title at the minute. If you think of how close it is, and Villa are technically challenging, 3 points off. If we had Mbumo or another 4 that was actually capable of scoring goals, would be right up there, man. And yeah, we didn't do enough. And Boomo got persuaded by the history of Man United, the Old Trafford, all that. We should have had someone, and now we can't pay the wages, but we should have got close at the wages and been like, why would you go there? We just won a trophy. We're Champions League.
Yeah.
And it wasn't enough in the summer. And obviously we failed massively in the summer. And we're currently failing now back-to-back windows, not being able to sign anybody. Because, you got Aaron here saying, reports saying that we only have 25 million to spend this window, and that's enough for a defender. That's why that Mingueza has been linked from Spain. He's available on the cheap because his contract's running out. Get Mingueza. He was at Barcelona. He's versatile. He's in the Liga. He's played there for ages. He's played for Spain. He's easily good enough to come at this team and do a job. Even if he's not the man to partner Chow or Botman, if them two are even the partnership anyway for the next 5 years, if at least you've got Mingueza coming on instead of 34, 35-year-olds and players that are getting injured and, kids like Miley having to play in defence and stuff, bring in the Mingueza, Spanish international, who's available there for like 15 to 20 million max. Dian Mathali, who we've obviously looked at, the young French kid. Problem with him is he's had a recent injury, so he's had a scan on his knee, I think it is, and there was talks that was going to be left till the end of the window. Well, we are very much at the end of the window now. There's less than a week to go, because about a week.
I don't know. What even is the date today?
I think it closes a week today, isn't it? Next Monday the 1st at 7, maybe? 2nd of February, a week. Today on the Monday, it closes at around 7 or 11, whatever it is really ticking down for Newcastle to sign players. So there is defenders there for less than 25, 20 million, which you can take a punt on. You can get these players in when we're desperate, absolutely desperate for defensive recruitments. Because I tell you what, with Eddie Howe closing a statement there saying, "Oh, we can't change the squad until the summer." I mean, hopefully that signals that there will be plenty of change in the summer, because there literally has to be. There has to be changes in the summer because of all these players that are aging and or leaving. Trippier's 35, going in the summer. Fabian Shaw, he's injured now. He'll be going this summer. Kraft was even linked to move this month, but unlikely now since all the injuries. He's meant to be going to Copenhagen. Lascelles was meant to be leaving this window.
What have happened? I've heard now about it. Eddie Howe pretty much said at the beginning of the window, he's gone.
He's gone.
Well, where?
When? I know what's all about. And if he's not gone, you may as well play him, surely, because everyone else is absolutely knackered. And you could see the other day, that back four played the same games for 3 games in a week, shall I say? 3 games in a row that back four played. So it was telling, because they were absolutely shattered. Even Lewis Hall, who's been brilliant lately, looked tired. Trippier was miles off it. We talked earlier, Chow made that mistake. Botman could close down quicker. You can't be playing the same players now in this day and age. 3 games a week, man. You've seen it time and time again. It can't happen. So with these players that are running out of contract, that are coming to an end, that might be leaving, Tino Livramento linked to Man City again.
Burns 33 or something like that. So.
We've got this aging team of players running out of contract, injury-prone players.
Paul Dummett still here? What's he doing?
Paul Dummett, I bring back Dummett. People in the comments saying bring back Mike Williamson. Unreal. And on Livramento, it's not going to happen this window. Probably will be this summer as well. Would you sell him considering his injury record and how much you could probably get for him, or you still want to keep hold of him for years to come?
I mean, in an ideal world, yes, keep him for years and years. I would love nothing more than to see the development. You know how Eddie Howe likes doing the development. Development with Eddie Howe, with Tino Livramento and Lewis Hall. I'd love nothing more than to see them two be our fullback partnerships for Newcastle and England for the next 10 years. I would love nothing more than to see that. But he has got a bad injury record, didn't he? I mean, we brought him in on an ACL. He hadn't played a game in about a year and a half when we signed him.
40 million.
Because of an ACL, 40 million for a player that hadn't played in over a year. Mental, to be fair. Like, at the time, which has obviously paid off well. But yeah, question's a good one and a fair one. Like, do you just cash in? He's high on the market. City would probably pay really good money for him. I mean, I'd still probably try and negotiate. Like, I think we spoke about this probably in the summer or a few months ago. Like, what would you realistically get for him? Like, because we paid 40 million for him for a player that hadn't, what was he, like 19 or something at the time? He was like 19, hadn't played a game in over a year with an ACL. What the hell would you get from now? He's an England national.
Aye.
You'd want double that.
You want double that, aye.
But if City were willing to pay 80 million, you'd think, I don't want to let him go. Is it worth it?
80 million for a fullback. That's
is
injury prone.
Injury prone. Yeah,
I'd be all over it. I'd accept anything from like 70. To be honest.
Yeah, like I say,
it's
one
really
that you
profit.
don't want to do.
No,
but in the long run, it might be smart just to cash in if and when you can.
If we weren't in this whole like FFP world, I'd be like, nah, see you later. You're not getting them. Like,
yeah,
or
if you could guarantee that he wasn't going to get injured for at least like the next like 5 years or something, I'd like name when he would buy him. No chance. But yeah, there is a bit of a question mark looming over him, innit?
I feel a lot stronger about Lewis Hall now, to be fair. Like, I absolutely love Lewis Hall. I think he's unbelievable and he has so much potential.
Yeah. But the biggest thing, I think, again, with Tino, at the minute, we've got adequate replacements in Trippier, but as you just mentioned, Trippier's 35.
Yeah, he's gone.
So we'd have to buy a couple. Kraft. He's another one. Like, well, what's Harrison Ashby doing these days? He's still at the team? Oh, he's on loan at Brentford, isn't he? Brentford, not Brentford.
No,
Bradford.
Be buzzing.
Yeah, he's at Bradford. So yeah, Ashby's out on loan. Kraft's going to leave. Trippier's going to leave. And then you sell Livramento. You need about 5 new right backs.
Exactly. That's what I mean about this transformational summer.
Leo Shaw, welcome to the club, son. First choice right back.
We're going to have to sign about 12 players in the summer. If you think about these players that could be leaving or leaving, aging, like we need so many. That's why I thought, you know how it is. Let's bring in a Jokinses. You know, the young kid there from Bruges, really highly thought of. He's in the Belgium team now. Apparently, he's available for about 30 million euros. Why we're not going in for him? Because if he does another good 6 months in that league, then more Premier League teams are sniffing over him. You're probably going to a Bournemouth for 40 million next summer. It'd be absolutely class, like Kirkes was. Then he'll go to Liverpool for silly money. This is what always happens. And you know that Ryan, who was linked to Newcastle, the Brazilian forward, he's going to Bournemouth.
Yeah.
There's someone in the comments here saying, Ian saying, why don't we go for Oscar Bob? He's off to Fulham. Why the hell aren't we going for Oscar Bob? Just a young creative player, you know, who can actually unlock the defence. So what we need. Off to Fulham, probably alone. I don't know.
I think it might be a fee. I think they're selling them. I did say it a while ago, but I can't remember what it was. I think it was maybe about 35, something like that. I think.
Well, that's see what I would have liked for Oscar Bob. He was class against us when he played against us a couple years ago. I would like.
But he's one of them players because he played for
him.
Man City. Like you haven't really seen a lot of him. You've seen glimpses of them. Like, but you think it's 35 million, a bit much. But I think if he gets a good run at team and he's a starting 11 player, you could like with a bit of momentum because he had a big injury and all. Like with a bit of momentum, fitness, starting 11, week in, week out, 90 minutes, you'd probably look at him after a few weeks and go, fucking hell, he's good. Him like,
aye, you will. We'll be looking at it.
Yeah.
Still can't see a fee there. It says that they're advancing in talks to sign him on that one. Sky Sports saying they're closing in on him. Adama Traore going to. He has exit to West Ham. You know, he must have played for so many Premier League clubs now. It's unbelievable. But I players like Oscar Bob can lock defences and stuff would be a shout. 35 million is what Ben's saying here. We should be jumping on that deal. It's one of them ones where you look at it and you think probably should. And you know what though? I've just said there, Bob on loan. Why we're saying and complaining and whinging about not being able to spend money on players this January. Why the hell are we not doing what we did for Lewis Hall? Where you just loan to buy, even if it's an obligation.
Yeah.
Even if he has to, preferably, hit that criteria level. But if not, then you just have to go for it, If you can get, countless times we've talked about Ruben Neves and he's still linked with a move back to the Premier League. I think it's one that's easy to make because of the Saudi connection. But it's a player like that who's like technically a lot better than what we can offer in our midfield and in that, closing the gap around the opposition box. Players at art, get him in on loan. Is there not a forward we can get in on loan? Is there not more so defenders that we can get in on loan because of the crippling injury crisis back there? All we're relying on is 33-year-old Dan Burn come back and stay in fifth for the rest of the season and rotating with Chow and Botman. Yeah. It's nuts, man. Absolutely mental.
What was Shaw's injury line? What was his injury?
How
long out for?
3 months, 2 to 3 months. So he's going to come back end of April.
Right at the end of the season.
Probably have like 2 testimonial games and then he's contract expires. So why aren't we betting someone in now? Like I know they were looking at that Mathali and but he's had an injury. So surely you do more scouting than that though, where we're wanting that young French kid, but he's not good, so no one then.
That's what it was last summer, wasn't it?
Why is it always one or bust?
It was like
it's not red or black. It's not roulette.
It was Gahey, wasn't it? Like last summer, we were all on Gahey for months and months, and it was like
I only want Gahey.
Down I am. I don't want anyone else.
Right.
Could have gone and got Chow last
Could have got
summer.
Chow then, aye. 20 million.
We're linked with loads of centre backs. We spoke about loads of them. Tamuri. I can't remember. Tadibo we're talking about. Like loads of them. Like, and then that was just it was a waste of a podcast. That really wasn't. Why are we talking about options when they're just looking to get you anyone else?
Should we just need to send this to the club? Really, that's what we need to do, and just be like, there is more than one.
What a waste
player.
of our time that was. Talking about all the possibilities of people that we could sign when they had absolutely no interest in signing anyone else.
Bloody bullseye! Look at what he could have won. Look at what he could have signed, Newcastle. Another defender, please. Just get someone in with another week to go. Just get someone in, give them a chance, because this will be the perfect opportunity to bring in a player now. No rush on him. Just bet him in.
Aye, there's no wrong with that. I think people think like if you spend money, especially substantial money, if you're talking 30, 35 plus, you think, God, well, I need to play.
Aye. We did it with Bruno. Bruno
not at all.
Start for age.
Yeah, not at all. You don't need to do that, especially if there's players in place, like you say, with people with contracts expiring. You give them like the experience of sitting watching. I think that was invaluable experience for Bruno because everyone was absolutely booting off on the saying Bruno. Like I think he didn't start the game for like 5-6 games, if not more. He was just getting like cameos. I think his debut, he only got like 3 minutes or something. Then it was like 5 minutes and 10 minutes. He was just being bled in. But I was thinking like he was a young player at the time who'd never played in the English league before. Decent transfer fee, big expectations. Like he's a big prospect, and like I think at the time, to be fair, we were doing really well. I can't even remember who it was. Was it Shelby Willock and someone else? Joe Litton wasn't a centre mid at the time, so I didn't even know who was playing. But whoever it was doing really, really well. So it's like there's no need to break him in. Like there's absolutely no need. So what he's doing is sitting on the sidelines and watching the game from up close. And he's getting a few minutes, 10, 15 minutes here and there, just easily bleed him in. Then when he made his debut, bang, he's rarely missed a game since. Like, that's perfect. And it could even be for a full season. Like Lewis Hall. Like, when Lewis Hall was on loan, he barely fucking played.
And now we were crying out for him to get a game out and he just wouldn't pick him.
He never, ever played. Because he was 18. Like, you don't need to play him. There's no... If there's someone who can't play, there's absolutely no need to play him. But that experience, who's to say that the player that he is today isn't because Eddie Howe took his time and bled him in and developed him? He loves developing players.
Well, bring in another kid from Belgium, from France. These ones we're linked to, and just more than the one. If he's got a little knock, then move on to the next one. Sure, there's a scouting network there that's seen something in someone, whether it's Sears, whether it's Mathali, whether it's fucking anybody.
And you,
Mingueza, even games, you bring them in. Learn off Dan Burn, experienced. Shaw might be injured, but he can still teach you a thing or two, surely. And then when it comes to the summer, and your Shaw leaves, and then next season, when Burns a year older, then it comes September, October, November, this kid's ready to step in and play in a big game. Yeah. And then there you go, in his Premier League. You know what I mean? That's what should be happening now. That's one of the advantages of a January window, I think. Like, yes, you want the pre-season, the summer, but you bring them in now, ease them in, get them used to the league, everything else, and then come the summer, they have a great preseason, hopefully, and then they start August and the firing.
Absolutely. Like to take like reference from like the NFL here, like that's sometimes what they do, like with like the draft. If you draft like a quarterback in the first round, sometimes like they'll not play in their rookie season. They'll start some like 38-year-old veteran, and they're like, "What are you doing? Like, why have you spent a first round pick on this player and you're not even playing him?" It's for development because they're young, coming out of college, they're hitting the NFL. So just a massive gap. So you take them time, you let them watch, bleed in. Training every day with a veteran who's been there, done that. Like that's development. That's how you grow these players. Like at times, like quarterbacks have come in the first round, they've been tied in their rookie season, and that's shit because like they just haven't had that like development phase. Like it's a period. So like there's nothing wrong with doing that in the Premier League as well. And you say, well, like Lewis Hall and any other youngster, like there's no requirement for them to play week 1, starting 11, bang, straight in there. Like why? It can ruin a lot of people's confidence more than it helps. Like you think, I'll get them some minutes under the legs. Not necessarily. Like I get that sentiment, but it doesn't always work. I think just time and patience and just letting them develop naturally is a better course of action in the long term.
Aye, definitely. And with about a week to go, if not less than a week to go of the transfer window, Keg, do you think Newcastle United will sign anybody?
No. At best a loan on deadline day or something like that, or maybe
Jetro Williams,
or maybe as a signing. I don't know. If it is, it'll be deadline day. But yeah, I'm not really holding hopes. Might be a young'un. Might be the next Harrison Ashby.
because that went well.
That's what I'd look at. Like someone young with potential, a team like from like a Premier League team. He's just breaking into the starting, like the first team squad. Highly rated. He was really good in the U23. He's had a good loan spell in League One last year or something. We'll get him in, and then he'll just never play. So, Garang Kowal. That's the kind of thing I'm looking at. Like we'll sign like the next Kowal, the next Harrison Ashby, something like that. But no one impactful. No, I can't say that happening.
I'm raging with this, like, because I've just checked there. It's literally nearly exactly a week. It's 2nd of February at 7 p.m. when the transfer window closes for January. And Newcastle have desperately needed to say, we've needed a lift all season because of how poor other teams have been. We've actually still got a chance in the league of doing something. That's why the Villa defeat was so upsetting and annoying, because it was a chance missed to go into that 4th, 5th position. Poor Man U won at the Emirates as well. With the defensive lack of options we've got, with the reoccurring injuries, with the lack of creativity in midfield and going forward, the window's open. You'd think we'll have to capitalise on it, but no. Looks like we're going to wait until the summer where there's going to be far too much work to do with contracts expiring and players aging. But I think I tend to agree. I've hung on to a hope, thinking surely we will sign at least a defender. But now, Eddie Howe's update last night saying we can't really change much and we have to wait until the summer.
No, it doesn't give you much more.
Doesn't give me any hope, really. Doesn't give us any hope, any excitement. And it's rather depressing, to be honest. Yeah, it really is. Hopefully we're still, an opportunity might arise. It did remember a couple of years ago with Gordon in January when we signed him. Something might come up late in the window where we can get a loan or try and tempt someone. But I have to agree with you. At this moment in time, I think it doesn't look like we're doing nout.
Not looking good, bruv.
It's not looking good, bruv. So will that mean that anyone will be sold? We've had a couple of loans and stuff leave this January. Harrison Ashby's and that we've talked about, players that haven't featured for Newcastle.
Max Thompson went out on loan today. 9th choice goalkeeper. He'll be a big miss.
I mean, you may as well leave me because we've got enough goalkeepers to last for the next fucking 2 centuries.
Coming back next year, man.
Odyssey has come back. Aye. The main ones that could leave. Jamal Lascelles was said earlier. Eddie Howe pretty much said he was leaving 3 weeks ago. He's still not here. Do you think he'll stay or go?
I think excuse me, I'll start that again.
Excuse me.
I think the thing is, like, if we're not going to bring anyone in, and with the ongoing injury issues that we're having, like with the defense all season long, and now it's starting to bleed into the midfield, we can't really afford to.
No. So he just doesn't pick Lascelles, or he should have picked him already.
So like he already basically confirmed that Lascelles is going, but as we've said, like that was 3 weeks ago, and there's been no links, no rumours. I've not seen who he's meant to be going to, any transfer fee or absolutely not.
No.
Like your Crafts, your Asulas,
West Ham was linked with
Willocks. Like there's been links, but I don't see. I just don't see the point, because we're just going to leave ourselves short. If we're not going to sign anyone, then realistically we can't afford to.
No.
So
Lascelles should be playing in the FA Cup. Not really. If he's here, and Eddie Howe said, he hasn't got an injury, but he's just not quite up for it. And then you see he's leaving, he's still, like, well, why is he still here then? What's the point? What's the point? You know what I mean?
Literally, I don't get it. Don't really see how anyone realistically can leave. So, I don't think so.
We could probably, we'll definitely see the same thing with Kraft, because we just talked about right backs there, and with Tino being out for a while. Joe Willock was, meant to be on the move to a Palace or a Fulham. Fulham have now got Oscar Bob, and Palace, I think that one could happen in the summer, but I don't think it'll happen in January now, especially with the injury to Joe Linton and still Bruno. We don't know what the extent of that is, so he's probably going to stick around, do you think, Joe Willock?
I would have said so, yeah. Like, we are just shorty.
Yeah, and William Asula, he was according to Sky Gym, and he was meant to be going to Frankfurt again, but was obviously in the match day squad for the first time in a while against Aston Villa yesterday.
Fed links of Rangers for Asula, I know.
Oh, really? No, it is. He'd probably absolutely
be class,
smashing it in Scotland.
I feel like I'd be half decent in Scotland.
To be fair, it's awful. So Asula, I mean, at this point, I think I actually want to keep him, because I want to see something off the bench, a bit of rawness, a bit of excitement.
He was looking really good before his injury.
He was.
We were saying this in the summer, like, maybe we should sell. Like, when we got that offer, like, what was it, 35 million or something?
30 million,
Was it? Who was it?
Frankfurt.
Like, you can't turn that down.
Nah.
it's a hell of an offer. He didn't really show now. Like anytime that he played, he was kind of playing on the wings, but he was coming on in the Champions League. He scored 2 goals against Bradford in the Cup. Like,
Liverpool scored a goal.
Like with Wissa still out, he scored potentially a game drawing goal, didn't he? Like that was the second one, 2-2. Could have got a point out with that game.
Aye.
But he started showing some really good flashes before he got injured. So it's nice to have him back as an option. I like with Wissa being available now, I don't really know how much game time he's gonna get realistically, but it is nice to have an option. But Christ, we need the options.
With all the games we've got as well, though.
Yeah.
Talk about definitely. PSG, like could he come off the bench against maybe Liverpool on Saturday, and then could he just bet his way in,
score against one of them, PSG or Liverpool?
Because Wissa and Voltemada, Wissa used to score against PSV, but Voltemada especially hasn't scored a goal in a while, and I just think it brings a bit of excitement back and another option, really, something that we need. I don't think we can go into the last 4 or 5 months of the season with 2 strikers, one of which Wissa doesn't look fit yet, and Voltemada looks... we're not playing to his strengths, and his confidence has dropped since Derby Day. So that probably sums up the transfer section then, does it? I'm not going to sign anyone, and
I'm not going to sign anyone either.
No one's really going to leave. So, see you good.
Good chat, bro.
See you good. Thanks, everyone. Cheers. On to Paris Saint-Germain then, Wednesday night, Newcastle back in Paris. A couple of years ago, I was there for that absolute robbery in the last minute. The penalty, the Mbappes, obviously PSG are a very different side since then, Keg. They went on to win the Champions League and change from their sort of Galactico approach and became a much more unit of a team. However, they haven't actually been that good lately. They haven't been that good in all competitions, to be fair. It seems like, whether they've just got ahead of themselves or they haven't got much motivation now they did it.
Yeah.
Louis Enrique is meant to be leaving in the summer as well, their manager. So
PSG didn't keep all the managers for long like that.
Nah,
it's probably just the French league. Managers probably thought, fuck this. Nah. If you win the league, especially when Luis Enrique won the Champions League, like, that'll do me.
That'll do me. Everything's done yet. Job's done.
I can't find something else.
Job's done. Eddie Howe knows that Newcastle are assured of a place in the knockout phase playoffs at least. But if we do get 3 points, it would look very good to go automatically through rather than have to do a 2-legged knockout tie. We could be here, I need talking about the permutations because it is that tight in the Champions League. You've seen it. It's like Newcastle in that 7th place range all the way to like Atlanta and 13th, 14th. It's the same points. So it's going to
finish anywhere between like 3rd and 14th or something.
It's going to be exciting Wednesday night. Like, be fair to watch the table change and to see that change. And
depend on other people's results and all goal difference and what have you.
Aye. PSG did win the other night. A 1-0 win for them in the league against Auxerre. So they actually have now overtaken Lens back at the top of the table, despite them, not being at their best this season.
Been a bit dodgy, isn't it?
But yeah, we'll just look at the Champions League table because I mentioned how tight it was there in terms of Newcastle's positions. But you got Arsenal at top there on 21 points, Bayern on 18, Real Madrid on 15, as well as Liverpool on 15 and 4th. PSG level on points with us in 6th. So it's all the way from 6th on 13 points to 13th in 13 points. So all to play for on Wednesday night against PSG. What we're seeing for that one, Keg? I mean, Newcastle in the Champions League. I tell you, Anthony Gordon will score. Apparently, shout out to Icelandic Geordie there, who's just sent in the super chat, sent in a super sticker, no question or anything, but he sent that in, so thanks very much, mate. Appreciate that one. The Icelandic Geordie, love to see that. And it would be typical of Newcastle to probably turn up, probably play really well, and then maybe still get undone. I don't know. I think I could see us starting strong, maybe even scoring like we did 2 years ago there.
Yeah.
And then them coming back. I mean, if I'm being honest, I do think we might get beat slightly, maybe like a 2-1 PSG.
I'm thinking that because, like, let's be fair, our away form has been shite our season. Like, League and Champions League, we'll beat Union SJ in the first game. And then I think we've lost, 3 games on the bounce ends? 2 games on the bounce ends? Lost
and last time,
Leverkusen and Marseille.
Last time we were in France, obviously, we was Marseille and we went 1-0 and lost 2-1. We drew in Leverkusen 2-2.
Oh, yes, we did. I threw that way on and on.
Threw it away, though. We should have easily won that game.
Yeah. So I can say like another game like PSG 2 years ago, or even like Barcelona at home this season, like elite competition.
Yeah.
It's difficult. But yeah, I don't think we'll get battered. I think you would look at it on paper and you're going to be absolutely shatting yourself at this one. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be that deep. I can't see we're getting battered. I think like Barcelona, like we went 2-0 down, came back, got a goal, and then we were pushing for an equaliser. I can see a game similar like that. And to be fair, I'd not be mad at that.
No,
as long as we go and give it a bloody good go, and we don't get battered. Like, yes, they're a better team than we, of course they are. But yeah, it's just kind of how you apply yourself. Like if we get beat but play well, I'll take it. Because to be fair, a lot of our wins this season, I mean, I'd probably say like 90% of the wins that we've had this season, but didn't really play well.
No.
Like, a lot of them being like snatch and grabs, like kind of like, well, 3 points is 3 points at the end of the day. But sometimes like you need to start playing well, man. Like that's how we'll get the momentum. Like we were talking about before, like we'll get one good win and then we'll look, I think, oh, this is where we're going to kick on in the season. We're going to get that momentum, but we just don't, just because we don't play well. Like you can't play well, you can't play badly week in, week out and expect good results. Like you're going to lose some games if you're playing like shite. So yeah, for me, it's morely about performances at the minute, especially when you play like Barcelona's, PSG's, Liverpool's, what have you, Man City, Arsenal. As long as if we lose by a single goal but play really well, and we come away with it like frustrated, thinking, "Oh, we could have got something there." That's mint. That's fine. I'll take that. But yeah, so that's the kind of game I see. I'll give a 2-1 PSG.
I think 2-1 PSG as well, and I think I'll say this right. I don't think it's the end of the world losing, because I mean the knockout phase is still our. I think, you know, obviously depends on who we get, but I fancy us to go through that anyways. I think that knockout game, the two-legged tie, excuse for another trip, that'd be nice. Yeah. But also, you know, at St. James's Park, I just do a random trip.
Not away. Is it 2 legs?
2 legs.
Does nothing.
Get them.
Didn't want Carabag then.
Get them at St. James's Park, and I think we'll get through regardless. And it shows, you know, it's just a complete lottery in a sense, because Liverpool, didn't they finish top?
Yeah, they did.
The Champions League last year and got PSG, and then obviously
I don't get how that worked. I thought it went on like seeding.
Well, I thought it was meant to. I don't know if PSG weren't doing that well then, and they were like 9th or something, so they got them. But I mean, yeah, mad.
But realistically, like if Liverpool were first, how it should work is that
you play the last one.
Yeah, like your seeding sticks with you from like the league table. So you'll have to be the last place to go through in the playoffs to get the top team. But like, surely PSG weren't that bad because they ended up winning the league. They won the Champions League. So yeah, I don't know how it works anymore. Like, this is why they should change the fucking format.
Well, it's about it. It used to be much easier, didn't it? But you know, I have enjoyed this. A bit more games and stuff, but it's very tight. There's loads of different outcomes. We'll see how it goes. Let us know your thoughts. I see people there saying 3-0 PSG, 3-1 PSG. Not many people are confident, and rightly so. You know, it's a hard place to go, Paris, because of the corruption, but also because they've got some quality players and a world-class manager. On to Saturday quickly then before we sign off. We head to Anfield, an unhappy hunting ground for the Magpies. However, this is one of the worst Liverpool teams in years, performance-wise. Obviously, they got beat off Burnley off Bournemouth on the weekend. They nearly got beat off Burnley the other week, to be fair, didn't they? They've struggled. They've only won a few games in the last few months, yet they're still floating around the top 5 because of how inconsistent and tight the Premier League is as well. So Newcastle have an opportunity there to go there, you know, not be so shit scared like we always have been in the past. I think, you know, with your Salahs and stuff, when he's been on fire, we have kind of almost went to those games and just threw in the towel before we went.
A bit too much respect.
I mean, I've been there when, you know, when Shelby took the lead and stuff, and then we just let them come back into it and we completely crap ourselves and, you know, get thrown by it all. I think this one we have to go there, and, you know, Eddie Howe has to show something here with the mindset to win with Liverpool, because that is clearly the best way. We've seen a lot of teams go there this season and get points. And no, don't go there with that negative defensive idea. Take the game to Liverpool. Take the game with them, because if you go there and do that, Liverpool ultimately end up winning like 1-0, 2-0. But if we play our game, go for it, maybe take a chance for a change, we could get something. But I don't know, because I've been to Anfield before and I see our record there, even though Slot's under pressure and they're not playing well and all the rest of it. Isak's out. I still just think it's Liverpool and we just can't seem to ever get anything there.
Yeah, it's one of them grounds. It's like the Etihad, it's like the Emirates. It's like Stamford Bridge, the fucking Vitality Stadium, the Amex Arena. They're just grounds where you kind of getting outdone. Doesn't matter how good or bad the other team is. But yeah, like our away form this season as well has been shit. Yeah. We've never had any luck at Anfield. So realistically, if history's to tell you anything, we're gonna lose. But I think even a draw is a good result. Again, I'll mention performance. I think if we get a draw like a 1-1 but play really well, they would take it to them. Even at home, like we're 2-0 down and we're brought back to 2-2.
If we never should have lost that game.
If we got that result, that would have been sound. So I would take another one of them. I'd take a draw right here, right now. If you offered me 1-1, 2-2, I'll take your hand off.
I probably would, because they're just above us, so keeps it a bit tight. But you don't see it. You think we're gonna get beat? Yeah,
more than likely. Yeah,
coming back from Paris as well.
Yeah,
not good. Is it?
What are they doing?
Where's Julian? Where's Bruno? What's
Liverpool doing this week?
What is Liverpool doing this week, to be fair?
Where you gone, lads?
Where's Liverpool gone? Well, what? Who did they play last week in the bloody Champions League? Marseille, they won away, didn't they? They got Karabakh at home.
At home? Oh, fucking sound eye. Never mind then. We're going to lose.
Yeah. Great.
Away, if they were away now, again, I'll the bloody Azerbaijan or wherever they're from, like an away trip to Azerbaijan, like that would be insane. That's like put some air miles in them, get them tired, a little bit jet lags, but never mind. You're at home to Karabakh.
Great. Couldn't have went much better for you, that. But to be fair, PSV beat Liverpool at home 4-1 and we beat them 3-0. So, but Newcastle, if we beat Liverpool, we will go level on points with them in 6 on 36 points. Newcastle currently in 9th, Liverpool in 6th. Yeah, I'm not too confident because of it just being Liverpool and Anfield and Newcastle. I just still think we'll have that thing when we go to, like you just said, when we go to Etihad and
games like a lost before it began.
I really feel that way. Like I remember last year we were going to Man City.
I was just going to say that.
Me and Rubenstein went and we're going down there confident because we were in great run of form. Man City were in a terrible run of form. Pep Guardiola, I don't think they won in 10 games or something. And they turned up, they absolutely battered us.
Where you just folded like a deck chair? We just didn't turn up to play. We're like, it's Man City away. Well, might as well just let them have the ball and just win the game. Sound.
Yeah. So, I don't know. But last time we were in Merseyside, we obviously beat Everton 4-1 in their new stadium. Liverpool are really bad this year. Still above us, though.
For that standard.
I think it'll go that way. I think we'll probably have a golden opportunity early on, miss it. Liverpool dominate the game. Score 1 and then score another 1 later on and we'll get beat 2-0. That's where I see that one going. Sorry, Bill.
Yeah. I could see like a pair of 2-1s, like PSG and Liverpool. 2-1s.
We should score against Liverpool.
I think as long as like I said, as long as they're decent games, like you expect to lose these games. It's just unfortunate that this is in the same week and they're both away. Again, mentioning like bad away form. They're 2 tough games away.
Then again, I was going to say there, we're going to score at Anfield, but we didn't score at Molyneux against Wolves. But we do better, because Liverpool won't play with a block. Liverpool won't sit back. You wouldn't have thought so, anyways. So, like, it could suit us more.
It to them.
It could suit us more if we go for it. If we have that belief. But I just say recent history suggests that we don't.
Like I say, just take the game to them. Don't let them have possession. Like, don't play ever again, like we did against Sunderland. It doesn't matter who we're playing, but like that is the prime example of how not to play. Now that we've had that one under our belts, keep that in your mind, Eddie. Just think, remember how we played against Sunderland? We just never do that again, please.
Just remember how you played against Everton. Try and do that on the break. Baltimore or Alanga. Try that.
High press and all that.
What's one of them? What's that? Can't remember.
It's like a distant childhood memory. That
remember that high press.
Remember what we used to do with high pressing back in the day.
Good
that. Missed them days.
Yeah, back in the day, high press, Home Alone, Blockbuster. Good times, man. Good times. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you've joined us on Spotify, wherever you get your platforms for podcasts after the show, if you've joined us here live on YouTube, thanks also. If you're watching back on YouTube, big up everyone. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Give a like. Thanks to Anarchy Brewery for hosting us, and enjoy yourself.